Apple Cup time next up. Washington State and Washington. We got Washington State 1-point road favorites, 44 the total in this one, 43 and a half. Obviously, when you look at this matchup here, Washington State, it's been obviously a better than expected season from them. They've had to deal with coaching changes as well, and they're still alive, believe it or not, for the Pac-12 North. But they got a lot of things that's got to go their way, essentially. They've got to get to they've got to hope for a bunch of things. They're still alive, but by a thread. But the bottom line is they're out if they lose this game against Washington. I think they probably will win this game. I mean, I looked to see if there were signs of life from Washington. First game after Jimmy Lake gets fired, and they end up losing as favorites to Colorado, although they dominated the box score. They had over 400 total yards. They held Colorado below 200 total yards. So what was the problem? Well, the problem was turnovers. 2 interceptions from Dylan Morris, 2 fumbles lost, -4 in the turnover margin. That's going to kill you when you have turnovers like that. Washington actually played a pretty good game, but they lost because they just couldn't hang on to the football, couldn't take care of it. And that's what you get with a team that's not that great. Mistakes, turnovers are an issue. I thought the effort was good. And I think maybe to play spoiler here in the Apple Cup, you'll see them want to play well and finish strong. But I don't trust Washington. They just can't get out of their own way. The one concern, and why I don't know for sure if I'll end up on Washington State, is this has been a dominated series history for the Huskies. The Huskies have owned this Apple Cup. They've not only won 6 straight and covered 6 straight, but most of these victories have been, all of them have been by double-digit margins. That's a very difficult series history to ignore in this Apple Cup rivalry game that Washington has just dominated it for the last several years. So I think for that reason, my Washington State lean is probably just going to stay that in the lean category. What do you think, Connor?
Yeah, but I do have to say, if this is the year, this is it for Washington State. I mean, this is their best team they've had in a while, and this is the shittiest Washington team in years. Talk about bad program right now. The basketball team's horrible too for Washington. Hopkins needs to get canned too, and
Yep.
just like Lake. So yeah, it's Washington State real quick. I think Delora. I think they have a solid defense. The total is low here, 43 and a half. I think this could be a rock fight. But if there was one time, I know Washington's dominated this, and they kind of treat Washington State like their little brother in football. I think they could get them here. I think it'll be a good one. I just think Washington State's a little bit better football team on both sides of the ball. So give me Washington State in this one. I rode them
All
all
right.
year. Take them now.
Yeah, I mean, this is as good a chance as any. There's no question about that. This is down as Washington's been in all these years when these teams have faced each other in the Apple Cup.